Hi guys, how are you? It's Kimberly from Asgard's Turn. We're going to be doing a collective in the current energy. Okay, so here we go. We'll do a me and you perspective as well as Celtic Cross. Okay. Alright, you feel something's been set. You're starting to ground something in pertaining to something that's set. You feel confident here. There's a confidence there, and I like that. And you have a roll off your shoulder attitude when it comes to like self-doubt or anything like that. So let's see who you're dealing with. Who's the They're showing compassion. I see an Aquarius energy, almost a healing energy as well. I don't know, they make you make a detour to a healing aspect. You know, they creatively do this. So, see the blocks here? There's almost a block there. So I want to see what comes out in the cards because it's very dynamic. There seems to be a block. And again, when I place it there, again a block. It's total. I don't see black ring of gates, but I'm curious to see the energy between you. Okay, let's see. Collective energy. Collective energy. Okay. Shug Knight. Detox your life. So maybe there was something that you went through that's why I'm saying there's like almost a pull in a path. A pull in a path with someone. Whoa. Okay. Who they're dealing with. Who they're dealing with. The energy of who they're dealing with. For the collective. Hematite. Ground yourself. So maybe they help ground you, or you notice something in a path that makes you ground yourself. You know, you notice something with another person. Let's see the energy between you. The energy between the collective, please. The energy for the collective between them. Celestite. Soothe your soul. So there's a soothing to this, but yet in separation, I feel. What are the outside forces with this relationship or union? What are the outside forces? What are the outside forces? Their energy. Can I have that for the collective, the outside forces? Well, we got Malachite. And it's time to transform. So something to change with that. And I love that card there. It's time to transform. So those are the energies present. One more for the collective. Why is Malachite present? What's the transformation? Can I have one more for the collective for the greatest good on the transformation? One more for the transformation. Is that right? To help money flow in. So there's an energy around you to help you with a mindset of money that came to. You feel maybe that's what you're worried about. Two people worried about money. Take what resonates. And one more for the energy between the collective. Soothe your soul. Can I have one more on that? Soothe your soul. Well, it's Angel Oral Quartz, which is a lighten up energy. So something you might have changed or looked at differently in a positive note, but you notice a pattern with it. I want to say with that crystal that came out. Let's get blocks if there were any, or shadows that you didn't see, or hints of. This is for the collective, for who the collective is dealing with. The Malachite energy, the Pyrite energy. Can I have one on that, please, for the collective? Hold. There's a moon and something forbidden. There's an unknown energy and there's something forbidden. So, you got the High Priestess of Fire. You know, that's a lot of passion in the situation, in the surroundings. There's a lot. There's something to do with money. There's a separation or something. And I think there was woundedness in the past with it, you know, especially within the crystals, the creativeness to try and block something. And then you have the Princess of Fire go with money flow, so that's heightened. Pyrite energy, can I have one more on the Pyrite energy? Pyrite energy for the collective. It's like a silence to it. They don't want to say nothing. You know, the High Priestess of Fire is, like I said, maybe an Aries, Leo, Sag. There's passion there. There's a reaction as well. There's a reaction. And then there's cycles, which I had felt. There's denial and strength. Both were upside down. So something that does not benefit you, you're not quite seeing it, maybe you're still in denial stage, and it's still left just with passion. Cycles of it too. And storms. Chaos. Let's get one for the Shuck Knight. Shuck Knight energy detox. And I have one for the Shuck Knight energy for collective, for the current. It's rigid. You know, maybe this path that this person maybe is trying to block to get you to lighten up, to soothe things. You're only thinking of the negative and rigidness of it, and I felt that with the fire as well. Let's see what they think. Hematite energy. Hematite energy. Hematite energy. Can I have one for that? For the current energy. For the collective. See, I knew that wanted to come out. There's a trapped feeling with it. There's secrets, there's conclusions, or thinking someone has secrets or conclusions. And then there's letting go. So if I was asking what their intention is, maybe you're rigid because you feel they're letting go. And they want you to lighten up about it. I mean, that could be done too, in cycles. You know, because someone's in denial here. And there's nothing but chaos. And there's a money base on it. One more for the energy between yous. One more for the energy between the collective. One more for the energy between the collective. There's a message of understanding. I think that's the way it's left now. Let's get a smaller breakdown. There was an oath that I think somebody made for themselves, top card. Yeah. That this just might be the passion and the lust here that I was talking about with the Princess of Fire. This has been coming a lot lately. Temptations, lust, things like that have been coming in cycles a lot lately. So hopefully that's the transformation that's happening with that. Let's get a smaller breakdown. Why the cycles? Why the cycles for the collective? Well, Saturn. Saturn energy. You know, maybe there's a restriction, there's adversity, there's a structure in this. You know, there's leaving, there's karmic lessons, and there's maturity in this cycles. So that's why I say I think this has come to an end. Let's see why. Yeah, the distance. And I pulled that here with the rigidness. You know, you gave yourself a timeout. Mm-hmm. You distance yourself. You know it makes you rigid. You have an understanding of that. You know, I think that's what the message is. So they feel you're letting go or they're letting go, you know, but you're the one with the distance. Take that as it resonates. What's the letting go for? Letting go for the collective. Mm-hmm. Confusion, illusions. Upside down. So they're not confused, they're letting go. There's confusions and illusions there, but it come upside down. Mm-hmm. Unexpected storm. So they anticipate this. They anticipate a storm of rigidness, maybe fighting, and then a timeout. And I think you do too. And there's an understanding in the middle of it. Let's see what the chaos is. Can I have one on the clarifier for the chaos, please? Chaos. Can I have one for the clarifier for the collective? I don't quite like the fulfillment energy, you know, but the karma and the doubts and the debts and the, you know, there's loneliness here. There's a lot there. And one is fulfilled with that. There's a karmic balance and one has doubts. And I want to put it this way, and this way. You have the fulfillment. What's the doubts here for? Can I have one on the doubts, please? One of the doubts. Well, Jupiter, there was action taken, you know, without apologies. Really, honestly. It doesn't, there's no movement with it. Spring upside down, you know, there's no growth with it. You know, but they are getting antsy. They're thinking about spring. They're thinking about something with movement. Action is backing that up. But they have doubt that you'll respond. They feel you're fulfilled already. They feel that things have been leveled out, and I think that's the understanding there. You're fulfilled, and you know that rigidness, and that's what I've seen in the crystals that's brought out with you with this cycles. So this is what you thought about, self-love, and you reflected. You know, and you were looking like, what's their intentions? You know, in the shadows. You just seen through it. And I think that's what the rigidness was for, you know, but there was also an acceptance because you got the fulfillment right before it. You're done. And that's why. And you distance yourself. You know, you were like sufferings on the board. On the bottom of the board. It was a trust issue with you guys. Let's see what the balance brought. What the balance bring with this? Can I have that? Can I have one on the balance? Well, I'm sorry, but it just brings disharmony and triggers. Excuse me. Thank you for holding. Okay. This is... Fate was on the bottom of the deck when we clarified over here. Like, there's an action to the triggers that make you rigid with this person. Okay? Could I have one more on the cycles and the chaos together? The cycles and the chaos together. Why is that present for the collective? North Node. Something that you guys, you know, needed to learn, I guess, you know. It's different. it's different. I think there was a lot of going back to each other quickly. You know, there was a lot of passion in the triggers, so it almost became like a codependency. Could be there. Can I have one more on the Saturn? One more on the Saturn energy. Well, temptation. That's what I thought. Again, you got messages. So the movement was recognized by both parties, I want to say. Why is this Princess of Fire here? Princess of Fire, can I have their intention? You know, they're guarded and closed off, whoever this is, and I'm linking them to over here. Let's see what this, they don't even look at it is. Yeah, they want a renewal right away, you know, and the spirit guides push them in a different direction. Yeah, a full energy. So quick to change, quick to change, quick to change is here. You know, with this person on this side, I want to say, in the collective. You learn that there's you know, you're guarding against the chaos, against that passion. You know, you're getting control. You know what you want more. You know, that self-love here. I see that there, over there. You know. Let's get a smaller breakdown. Why is the self-love here? Well, you're waiting on a message, or you know, you're waiting on paperwork. Somebody could be observing you, or you're waiting on a message of clarity. Yeah, there's been something revealed to you, the moon upside down, you know, in self-love. So that's good. Wow, there's a lot of precise energy. You know, like they're really jumping with the cards. Easy. What was revealed? Can I have two? Well, you were tired of waiting, you know what I mean? You took the action. You decided to leave something behind with the Three of Wands. And I think you knew this for a while now, you know, and they don't get it. Yeah. There's no communication right now. That's how you feel. No clarity, no communication. You're not talking. You don't want to say nothing. Let's see what their action is. Can I have the action for the collective? The action for the collective, for the greatest good. They have clarity. But I think there's more than one party involved. And they've got King of Swords as well. Something that they're working on that they don't apologize for. They know they're doing what they're doing. They thought about it with the Hangman there, you know, but they haven't made a decision yet. They're unclear about their decision, King of Swords. So they say one thing and do another. The type of energy that is. Yeah. There's been movement with them, confirming movement. You know, maybe this person's far away from you. Maybe they live somewhere else. Yeah. The secret's here. It's on the bottom of the deck. About clarity. And then the Wheel of Fortune goes over, so there could be karma. Sorry, that's my dog. He sees another dog. That's the alert. So he does that. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. Listen, there's something coming to you here. Let's see what they're moving in with the Chariot. There's something coming to you that you don't know about, and I don't want to ruin it for you because I think there's something that should be held here because you got the Ace of Cups. You know, this has been a long time. There's a change coming for you, and I think that's good. Look, they have something they're blocking. They've got a lot of chaos. They don't know what to do. They're waiting to see, or you lower defenses, or strategizing how they can. Look, it's nothing fighting. So they're dealing with their own forward movement. So I really think that you made a decision, in the collective to just move forward yourself. Yeah, rainbow energy. To detox your life, you do. Fluorite. Find the peace within. And that's what's coming for you. And you'll enjoy the process of it too with the labradorite here. See the magic. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You got something very good coming to you. It's almost a test to see if you would be, waiting to see if the combat and strength can be still worked on. That's the only thing that's discussed. That's why you're not being played into that. That's what's been revealed. You have more self love than that. You already went through the shadow work. You feel content, and that's why you're distant. With them, there's a lot of conflict, which results and leaves you rigid. Why you got the Shug Knight? I mean, really, that's really why you got the first crystal there. So I'm glad to see that you're holding healthy boundaries, and that's what I'm gonna call this. I mean, you're more level-headed. Just you're more at peace. You just have a good head on your shoulders. You bypass cycles of temptations, and you stay focused. You distance yourself from that. So it's a good energy to have. I think it is anyway. Like it feels like getting in things in order for yourself. I like it. 22, 29. So a decision to complete a lot of things for yourself, and I like it. All right, good reading. Take care.